Good day, esteemed evaluators and participants. I am Jeson D. Balingbing, a faculty of Bicol University, Gubat, Sorsogon. The title of my paper is Lesson Exemplars in Introduction to the Philosophy of the Human Person, or IPHP, Integrating 4A's Design, K-12 Pedagogy, and Philosophy for Children, or P4C. To introduce you to my study, the Philippines is the last country in Asia and one of the only three countries worldwide with a 10-year pre-university cycle. Along with this K-12 curriculum implementation, the introduction to the philosophy of the human person, or IPHP, as one of the 7 core subjects, meaning mandatory subject, is quite difficult as its content is intangible and often involves universal claims about the experience itself rather than the content of experience. With this, IPHP may not be suitable for basic education curriculum learners because of its content as emphasized by the study of Parahani 2014. In the year 2012 to 2017, no book in IPHP was released in Legazpi City Division. In the same year, 2017, IPHP was not included in the release of soft copy of the Reader, Teacher's Manual, and Teacher's Guide. The scantiness of instructional materials in the primary years of implementation of senior high school was significantly experienced, as proved by the study of Basilan 2018. As a response to these problems, this study aimed to develop lesson exemplars, or LEs, based on the unmastered competencies of grade 12 students for the school year 2019 to 2020 to facilitate the understanding of the IPHP. The integration of the 4A's design, K-12 pedagogical approaches, and philosophy for children, or P4C, by Matthew Lipman shows novel initiative to combat such problems in the 21st century learning. To give you the specific problems of my study, first, what are the competencies unmastered by the students in the introduction to the philosophy of the human person, or IPHP? Second, what lesson exemplars, or LEs, may be developed to facilitate the understanding of the course with focus on the unmastered competencies? Third, what is the juror's evaluation of the following factors of the lessons? A. Content. B. Format. Under format, we have B.1 prints, B.2 illustrations, B.3 design and layout, B.4 paper and binding, B.5 size and weight of resource, and C, presentation and organization. And the last one for the format, accuracy and up-to-datedness of information. And fourth, what is the evaluation of the teachers on the developed lesson exemplars along practicability and ease of use? What are then my findings? 27 out of 32 learning competencies were unmastered by the students. Therefore, 84.38% of the learning competencies in the curriculum guide for the subject were unmastered. Possible reasons were the following. 1. The number of student respondents. 2. The date of administering the achievement test. 3. The manner of administering the test. 4. The student's age. 5. The reading comprehension and critical thinking skills of the student respondents. 6. The specialization and skills of teachers. 7. Teachers' number of years in teaching. And 8. The number and the difficulty of the subject. The lesson exemplars, or LEs, were integrated the K-12 pedagogical approaches, 4A's design, and philosophy for children, or P4C, by Matthew Lipman. All of the lesson exemplars were rated pass and recommended the approval for possible use in public schools. The lesson exemplars, in terms of presentation and organization, and accuracy and up-to-datedness of information, got the highest scores, which was 20 over 20 and 24 over 24 respectively. However, along with the content and format of the lesson exemplars, got 27 over 28 and 71 over 72 respectively. The result of teachers' evaluation of the lesson exemplars in terms of practicability and ease of use were excellent, with an overall rating of 4.70 and 4.74 respectively. Based on the findings, this paper concludes that first, most of the learning competencies were unmastered by grade 12 students. Most of the unmastered learning competencies were based on the most essential learning competencies, or MELCs, set by DepEd. Second, the 8 lesson exemplars were inspired by the 4A's instructional design, K-12 pedagogical approaches, and philosophy for children, or P4C, by Matthew Lipman, to facilitate the understanding and learning of the subject, Introduction to the Philosophy of the Human Person, or IPHP. Third, the results of the jurors' evaluation of the features of the LEs in terms of content, format, presentation, and organization, and accuracy and up-to-datedness of information were passed and recommended. Fourth, the teacher's evaluation of the lesson exemplars, practicability, and ease of use was excellent. I'm going to show you the developed lesson exemplars 1 to 8. These lesson exemplars consist of the following parts, such as objectives, content, references, materials, procedure. Under procedure, it includes motivation, activity, analysis, abstraction, and application, or the 4A's design. Also, evaluation is the last part of the lesson exemplars. 4A's design is the most common and appropriate instructional design for senior high school or adult learners. I integrated the 4A's design into the procedure part of the lesson. So activity is the first part of the 4A's design. It follows with analysis, abstraction, and application. The K-12 pedagogical approaches are known to be the constructivism, collaborative, inquiry-based, integrative, and reflective. I integrated these approaches into the different parts of the lesson exemplars, particularly in the 4A's design. And the most interesting part of this lesson exemplar is the integration of the philosophy for children, or P4C, of Matthew Lipman. The P4C as a model helps students to think and solve their problems individually. Lipman 2003. The project was conceived and launched by Matthew Lipman, a professor of philosophy at Columbia University in New York. Since its inception in 1972, P4C has been employed by educators in over 40 countries. If it has been practiced in different countries worldwide, why not in the Philippines? With this educational model, I have formulated the following pedagogical approaches that I incorporated into the lesson. First, it shows stimuli and curiosity. I integrated this concept into the motivational part of the lesson. This is an example where the lesson exemplar shows stimuli and curiosity. Second is individual and team collaboration. I incorporated this in the activity, or the first A's of the 4A's design. This is an example of an activity that shows individual and team collaboration, as it caters to student-centered activities. The third is the student and teacher interaction. I incorporated this in the second A's of 4A's design, which is the analysis and it shows from basic to complex questions that enable the students to think critically with the help of the teachers to process the core concepts. The last one is the output-based presentation, which I incorporated in the application part of the lesson exemplar. It shows a generated output from the students out of the knowledge, skills, and attitudes learned by the students. There are 7 more lesson exemplars or LEs in the IPHP that show the integration of the 4A's design, K-12 pedagogical approaches in the philosophy for children, or P4C by Matthew Lipman. But due to the interest of time, I will just click the slides and later I will answer your questions. So this is the lesson exemplar number 3, observing the following parts and of course the 3 integrations I made in the lesson exemplar. This is the lesson exemplar number 4, observing the same. This is the lesson exemplar, which topic is all about freedom of the human person. The next lesson exemplar is about the intersubjectivity. The next one is the human person in society. And the last one is man in his impending death, the 8th lesson exemplar. So allow me to leave you with this quotation. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. That is according to Mark Twain. Once again, I am Mr. Jeson D. Balingbing, and I was born to be a teacher. Thank you.